mid or top. You will not be seeing him this game. Steve does have first pick. We'll see who they decide. They're gonna hover in the Kazakhs here. Rek'Sai. So Rek'Sai is a very strong early game jungler right now. He got nerfed in a recent patch. His Q doesn't do as much damage, and he has a little bit less bite on his E. Still a very strong early game jungler. A lot of good gank potential. Definitely going more towards that early game. You got a couple quick picks out of Lambton. You got a Sejuani Lulu. I'm looking for another support who's going to offer a lot of shields, a lot of disengage for the slow, and able to keep your ADC alive for a long time. Looks like that's the style Lambton wants to go to. Sejuani in the jungle, a lot of CC, able to keep people off your ADC again. So definitely looking for probably a carry in the side of Lambton, and we got a Renekton Pantheon picks on the side of Steve. So heavy early game they're looking for. Because of that Renekton Pantheon pick, looks like maybe a Pantheon mid. Definitely gonna be some interesting picks. Looks like we got Cassiopeia as the mid lane pick on the side of Lambton. Could also go top, but most of the time is played mid. But definitely Steve looking for that early game engage. Talia gonna be banned out on the side of Lambton. So again, they are flexing Pantheon because Pantheon can also be played in the jungle. Rek'Sai can be played top. But more commonly, you'll probably see the Renekton go up there. So as of right now, I'm gonna get the fourth ban coming out of Steve. It's gonna be no one yet. We got a ribbon ban as the final one on the side of Steve. And I want to talk about this Lulu because I feel like they're really setting up for a. They're really setting up for another carry ADC. They have the Cassiopeia and the Lulu and the Sejuani all. Cassiopeia's going to be doing a lot of damage from the backline, but she's able to stay safe herself. Lulu and Sejuani trying to peel for their support. Thresh ban actually coming out from Lambton. Interesting. Usually that's it's a ban you might not use with a Lulu because Thresh isn't going to be too much of a threat to her. But just to be safe, again.
Impure fools.
Ooh, and the final ban is actually going to be a Vayne out of Steve. So definitely something for Lambton that they liked last game. They're not going to be able to play it this game. Looking for possibly a Kai'Sa. I haven't seen a Kai'Sa from either team, which is, a Jinx coming out of Lambton, actually. So, again, as I said, it was going to be a hyper carry. Lulu going to try and keep her alive, and Sejuani able to zone people off her so she can hit them from the back line. Definitely going to be scaling up in this game. Looks like we got a couple different hovers out of Steve. Not sure exactly what they're going to go on for this. I like that Malphite. Malphite's also similar to Nautilus, really good pick right now because he can flex a lot of different places. But it looks like they're going with Caitlyn. Pretty safe in a Jinx. She can farm back without too much risk. And then Aurelion Soul pick. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe a Pantheon support or an Aurelion Soul support. I'm not really sure on this one. You do have double ignite for Pantheon and Aurelion Soul. So it looks like we have some interesting picks from Steve. Orin is going to be the final pick for Lambton. And looks like Cassiopeia, Jinx, and Orin is going to be top lane pick. Again, going for that hyper carry. Jinx. Trying to find out exactly what they're going to... Most likely they're going to try and play on that Jinx, try and get her fed. Interesting, Steve is going for full early game. Caitlyn offer a little bit of mid-game pressure. Aurelion Soul, kind of the wild card in this one. Not really sure where he's going to go with that one. But we'll get into the game soon and we'll know. Definitely an interesting... Again, they went with a Renekton pick that was able to be so effective in the last game against Lambton. Was able to take them apart. So, interesting to see maybe Pantheon support. Pantheon support is going to be definitely a big threat if it does go down there because the Lulu and Jinx are so squishy. And Pantheon as an early game champion, definitely going to put a lot of pressure on that Lulu, a lot of pressure on the Jinx, able to, burst him down. So, yeah, going to be an interesting game for sure.
I'm a little bit interested to see like how Steve uses that Renekton against Lambton. I mean,
Again, it's another Renekton versus Ornn matchup. So, as you saw last game, Renekton does win that matchup majority of the time. Usually pretty heavily into that. Ornn can farm under turret, kind of keep him away from, getting a super big advantage. But obviously, Renekton's going to be able to push that in. He's going to be able to roam around the map again. See if he can maybe make some map plays, especially with that wild card of a Pantheon and Aurelion Sol, seeing where they'll go. Definitely going to shake things up a bit.
Very interested to see what happens.
I want to take some time to thank one of our sponsors, Chat Time here in Windsor. They sponsored 300 drinks for everyone to enjoy, and I'm actually quite enjoying this one. I don't know what I think it's mango something. Not really sure. It tastes good. That's all that matters.
I'm excited. They're coming back around at 3 o'clock because I didn't get any.
Rippin' pepperonis.
Rippin' pepperonis.
Feels bad, man.
Absolutely. The feels. But
Unlucky.
thankfully, Chat Time is coming back around at 3 o'clock. If you are here at the venue and you missed out the first time, stop back by again at 3 o'clock and we'll see what we can do for you.
So, definitely going to be a good game for us. Looking forward to. But, yeah, we're enjoying this atmosphere. There's a lot of people here, actually. It's starting to heat up. Smash players are coming in. And if you want to watch some high-level gameplay, you want to watch some exciting esports stuff going on around Windsor and Essex County and in the region, definitely a good place to stop by. Talk to some players, talk to some schools, some high schools, colleges, a lot here. I think St. Brock's here. There's Lambton's here, and there's got a couple high schools, Essex high schools here. So definitely a lot of diversity that we have presented here. And I think CSGO is being presented their NACE rings as well. So
it's got a lot of high volume players here, just looking for, some recognition, some prize money, some bragging rights.
Don't forget about that. That prize money is big.
Some huge prize money here.
$3,000 for some events, $5,000 for some events, $2,500 for this. For our league, we got $2,500 prize pool. So easy money, right?
If you're skilled enough in that jungle lane, you could.
If you're good enough,
first prize.
$300 could be yours. So don't forget, come out here, come check it out. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so looks like we're getting into game in a couple minutes. So here we go. Actually, looks like we're gonna head right onto Summoner's Rift. And one more thing I want to point out before we start the game. The Caitlyn pick into the Jinx is going to probably do pretty well. The Aurelion Sol or Pantheon support, whatever they do decide to go, is going to have to try and push early, because as soon as Lulu hits 6 and is able to ult that Jinx, it's going to take a lot of the kill pressure from that bot lane, and it's going to mean that a lot more ganks are going to go down there, and they're going to put a whole ton of, a lot of the jungle presence is going to be pushed towards the bot lane. So definitely something to watch out for. We have a technical issue, so we'll be in-game momentarily. But here you go. So you got the pick. So both Aurelion Sol and Pantheon do have Ignite. We got a Aftershock Pantheon, which actually is not a bad choice. So Aftershock Pantheon is not a bad choice. Electrocute on the Aurelion Sol is interesting. Dark Harvest on the Caitlyn. This is something new that I haven't seen. So maybe a pocket pick. I don't really know at this point, but definitely something to keep in mind. Bot lane, Caitlyn with Dark Harvest is not actually a bad thing, because her ult can execute people, and that's mainly what it is used for. So not a bad summoner's choice. But I'm very interested to see how this bot lane goes, because in all honesty, I don't really know how it's going to shape out. Maybe it's a cheese comp that they came out with. But definitely, like, level 1 Aurelion Sol is very strong because of his Celestial Stars he has around him. So looks like looks like Steve is going to try for the bot invade. Again, Jinx is just going to stay right on the back side of that wall. And again, Jinx is going to back off, same as the last game. Going to be able to get out. It is going to force them off blue, though, and it is going to mean that Lambton can try and go for that buff pickup. It's like they're flexing some of their masteries on each other.
A little bit of taunting before the game.
Rek'Sai pulling out the level 7 on the level 5 Lux, flexing on him. But looks like it is going to be a Pantheon bot. So the burst potential on that is actually huge, because if you can land a trap as a Caitlyn, and if someone steps on it, then you can jump in as a Pantheon, stun them, and then you can just chain them into a lot of different CCs, where Caitlyn can kind of just fire down a line at them. So early game, Pantheon is definitely going to be a problem for this Lulu Jinx bot lane. So they do have to get that snowball rolling, though, because Caitlyn's not gonna scale nearly as well as Jinx will. So if you don't get that snowball rolling early, it's gonna be very, very tough. It looks like Sejuani might come down here for a level 2 gank to start off the game. And if Steve's not careful, they might get caught out here. Stun lands on the Sejuani. They're gonna go for the Caitlyn. Flash by Caitlyn. Good flash on the Q by Sejuani. Nothing to be picked up. One summoner burned on the side of Caitlyn, but it was a good gank on the side of Lambton. They were able to escape. So, Jinx is at half health to start off this. He did take a lot of damage from the Caitlyn and from the Pantheon. So, other than the summoner burnt on the side of Steve, nothing really bad is going to go there. It also gives Rek'Sai an advantage because of the gank, because of that timing. Rek'Sai is going to be about a camp and a half ahead. So the jungle will definitely make a big difference in this game, whether or not they can get that bot lane or the top lane rolling on the side of Steve, because Steve is heavy early game, and if they don't win the heavy to early game, they will get outscaled by both teams. And it looks like they're going to go into blue here. They're going to proc the Aftershock on Pantheon. Pantheon will not go down. Jinx firing out some rockets, not able to kill anyone. Lulu at about 100 health. Is forced to burn. Jinx is forced to burn the heal, and we have a pause.
Unfortunately, we have a pause happening here.
So bot lane, they did burn the Caitlyn flash, but they were forced to burn the Jinx heal early as well. Thing with the gank, forced that one out, but a good counter on the side of Steve meant Pantheon could go in on the Lulu. Burst Lulu down to about 100 health. Unable to kill her, though. Did use the Ignite.
Oh, so here we go, folks. Unfortunately, we've just been told that there's some mouse problems on one of the teams.
Top lane is having some mouse problems, so see if those will get resolved soon, hopefully. But for now, we'll take a pause, and we'll be back. Not really sure what the problem is at the moment, but as you can see, the Aurelion Soul is staying even in farm. Jinx is up a couple farm, and still going to get unpaused. Good.
Here we go.
So back in the game, small mouse problem resolved pretty quickly. So the problem with Aurelion Soul is to get a lot of the poke out onto the Cassiopeia to give her some pressure, you do have to use a lot of mana to keep your such in. A flash in on the Lulu is forced to flash. Ignite's going down on the Pantheon. It's not going to die. And Spear's going to get thrown out. First blood on Pantheon. Heal used. And they're going to get... Oh, Jinx barely survives. Has forced to flash out. Save herself. Down to about 20 HP. But first blood to the side of Lambton. And Aurelion Soul, Rek'Sai are going to go in. Flash use on Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia flash heal out. Looks like they're going to try and go for the kill. Ignite, and Cassiopeia's going to go for the kill here. She's going to try and take the Rek'Sai. Is not able to. Aurelion Soul is not able to stun the Cassiopeia because she didn't have enough mana. So even trade in mid, a lot of summoners burnt there. But Jinx barely survives. 1-1 the score, and it looks like actually Renekton died in top lane to the Ornn there in a solo. So that's definitely not good. Good first blood in the bot lane was very key for that bot lane to do well. Pantheon picks up the first blood. He does have Hex Flash, so they will have to be aware of that a lot of the times, like, he will still be able to flash in on the Lulu, but that kill threat in bot lane is huge because of the Ignite and the Hex Flash. So Dark Harvest stack picked up on Caitlyn as well. That'll help her out with her executes, but all summoners in bot lane are burnt. Renekton does still have both. Oh, it looks like Pantheon is going for another. See, Pantheon is doing massive damage to that Lulu. She's not going to be able to stay in lane for that long. Looks like Renekton's going to go in on the Ornn, level down, and Ornn's actually going to win that trade out. Renekton is pretty squishy right now. He only has a longsword boost, whereas Ornn has that Bammy Cinder. Oh, W landed on the Pantheon. Pantheon's got down about half health, and he's going to X Flash out, charges it up. And we have another pause. Looks like Pantheon was having some issues. Not really sure what the issue is right now. We'll get that to you as soon as possible. But again, no summoners in bot. A lot of action happening down there. It is what's... Yeah, so it looks like we have another mouse issue, unfortunately. We're about 5 minutes in. Score is 1-1. Gold is almost even. And bot lane looks like they're doing pretty well. Unfortunately, they were... Looks like, yeah, so it looks like he's going to restart his game. Again, Pantheon was having some issues, wasn't able to move his mouse for a lot of that fight. So it looks like we might have a potential restart on it. I think he's just restarting his game, or restarting his computer. So definitely, what do you think of Saints Gaming Live so far?
I think that this is a really, really good event for people to come to and network and meet new people and kind of like enjoy that, you know, that camaraderie, that aspect of people liking a game as much as you do. And just kind of, you know, circling around the event and just, you know, seeing all these incredible like games going on, all these incredible prizes.
Like, you never really see real life people who like a game as much as you do, right? Like a lot of times they'll be like, hey, like obviously.
How good is that tea though?
That bubble, I'm telling you, it's good. It's good.
I'm so excited for 3 o'clock.
Yeah, but it's cool seeing all these people that are playing the same games as you, like the game as much as you do, and like although they might not be the same level as you, might be a lot better than you or worse. Like seeing people that are as passionate about video games as you are is really cool, because like I've never been to a LAN event, so for me this is the first time being like, holy, there are so many people just in our little area that love this game.
See, now I had
like,
the pleasure to go to
No Man's Land?
No Man's Land, yes. And it was about 150, 200 people there, maybe, like max, throughout the whole day. And
this is like,
it was just really incredible to see, like how many people just show up and just want to play with their friends, and like, I honestly don't even think many people care about the prize pool.
There we go. So we're back in game. They're gonna let the Pantheon back, try and restart it a little bit. Early in Soul, Rek'Sai gonna try and go in on the 620, try and catch her out. Looks like Cassius is gonna go in the fight. They're gonna go in on the Rek'Sai. Looks like Rek'Sai's gonna pick up the kill. He's gonna trade it back, and Jinx is gonna pick up the kill on bot lane. Ornn's gonna try and pick up the kill on Early in Soul. Does get the knock up. Cassius is gonna go for the kill. Ornn's gonna flash in. He's gonna miss his W though. Doesn't get the knock up. Good ult by Early in Soul to keep himself alive. He's gonna be at 50 HP.
Hanging on by a thread.
Oh, and he dodges the Q from Cassiopeia and lives to tell the tale. So a lot happened a little bit there. Traded the junglers. Ornn came down and responded. Renekton stayed up in top lane. Wasn't able to come down. He did not have Cryo in that lane. Ornn's gonna TP back, but Pantheon's gonna get a little poke damage on the Jinx. Not gonna do very much to her, but Jinx was able to pick up the kill on the Caitlyn. Pantheon was back, so wasn't able to be protected from that. Lulu did have to sacrifice a lot of her health to get that kill, but it's going to help with the scaling and definitely going to help them get a lot further ahead. Renekton's going to TP the top lane again, right into this Ornn, and he only has longswords and a bead, so he's not going to be nearly as effective as this Ornn with Bammy Cinder and a Ruby Crystal.
Absolutely.
Definitely, down about 15 farm, not what you like to see out of that top lane, because obviously as a 1v1, and looks like Renekton's going to get a little poke on him, the Ornn, but doesn't have level 6 yet, not able to proc that. Rek'Sai's going to come in and going to get the knock. Oh, he's not going to get the knock up, actually. Unstoppable proc by by Orin. Good timing by him. Able to dodge the knockup and probably prevent himself from dying. So, well played by him. Good timing on that. So, Sejuani going to walk around, take out this pink. Rek'Sai and Aurelion Sol are going to go in on her, though. Going to get some slows at Aurelion Sol. They're not going to actually commit to it. Aurelion Sol is very low on mana, so he can't really help out. Or, can't really help out. Cassio is going to put down a little bit of damage, but this is going to be mostly a poke lane. Bot lane is going to have to start getting some kills. Obviously, the Lulu shield's not going to help at all, but definitely have to start that ball rolling. As the Pantheon is going to fall off very quickly, as well as the Rek'Sai and the Renekton. So, if they don't start getting the ball rolling as soon as possible, they might end up snowballing this game out of control.
I'm actually a little bit curious to see who takes the first tower in this event.
You really like first towers.
I really do. I like the first tower. I feel like it really sets the tone for the match on...
Not first blood, just first tower?
Not first blood, just first tower. It's, I feel like it's a little bit, like, different of a push, you know what I mean? Instead of taking out a player, you've taken out a major part of their facility.
More momentum, yeah, it's true. But, still something to watch. Cloud Drake is the first Drake, definitely not a high priority on the side of either team, not something. And he's gonna get the burst on Lulu, actually. Gonna get her down to go to 3rd health. Oh, that Dark Harvest proc is gonna actually get her. Not gonna go for the snipe. Doesn't quite have 6 yet. But looks like Aurelion Sol's gonna come in for the gank bot lane. So he's gonna try and land that, but doesn't quite make it through the wall. Now Lulu's gonna stay at 200 HP. He's gonna stay in this lane at least for now. Cassio is coming down. Rek'Sai is hanging around that jungle, looking for a potential gank out of that too. But looks like Aurelion Sol is just going to try and back in the push. Flash out of Pantheon. Lulu's going to ult herself, going to keep herself alive. Ignite comes down on her, but she's not going to die. Aurelion Sol not going to land the stun. Looks like everyone's just going to come out alive. Couple summoners burnt on the side of both teams. Ignite by Pantheon. Ult coming down from Jinx. Doesn't quite hit anyone. But Jinx burn Flash, and obviously Flash Ignite by the Pantheon to try and burst down that Lulu. Forces out her ult. It does take a lot of the potential burst away from Steve, but forcing out the heal and the Lulu ult does mean that Jinx is not nearly as safe in that lane for a while as she'd like to be. So, Renekton looking for a potential gank in mid is probably just going to clear these wards. Has to be careful. Sejuani is coming in from the other part of the lane. Cassio is just going to force him back out of there, let his jungler path back, and it's really good that she's keeping up that ward in that bottom brush, because that is keeping her alive. Renekton's looking to go in on the Orin here, and Orin's going to answer back with a W of his own. So it looks like they're going to go for the 1v1, just auto-attacking each other. Renekton pulls the ult out. Orin's not going to go for the knock-up. Renekton's going to burn ult, not going to get anything out of it, and going to hit the stun, actually. Going to try and get in the press of the attack proc. Doesn't quite make it 100%. Orin gonna pull the ult, gonna get the knockup on her and auto attack and done.
Ouch for that Renekton up top there.
Definitely, and looks like Sejuani's gonna pick up bot lane. Picked up a kill on Rek'Sai as well, which means that this dragon might become a lot easier to get. And looks like Aurelion Sol's gonna land a stun, not really gonna do a lot of burst damage. And Pantheon looking for the nice jump on the Jinx. Jinx is gonna dodge out from the snare though. And again, looks like bot lane burst is not going to be enough to kill them. Pantheon's going to ult with the Dragon Pit here. Not really sure what he was doing there. Actually, he's going to try and melt down the Sejuani. Sejuani going to die from that. Unfortunately, not worth it. Aurelion Sol isn't really aware of what's going on. Forced out the Cassio, but soon they're going to take that dragon uncontested. Rek'Sai was in top lane. Interesting move by the Pantheon. I mean, it could have worked out. Lulu was there, though, helping support the Sejuani and was able to alter, get her out of that burst, and Pantheon pays for it with his life. So,
I mean, in my experience, like, looking at these teams and, like, how they deal with their dragons, it's to get one, I mean, they don't really solo the dragon. It's kind of a team effort.
Yeah, you know, like, if you solo a dragon, it's usually only to sneak it, but when you're playing at a high-level gameplay, it's very hard because there is a lot of vision is put down by the higher level teams, because that's makes it so much harder for someone to steal something away from you, right? So they're gonna go in on the Jinx actually in the bot. Shield by Lulu. Aftershock procs. Pantheon is gonna try and go all in on this. Ult. And ult on the Caitlyn almost kills the Pantheon. Survives with about 50 HP. So Flash was used to. Looks like they're gonna go all in on the Cassio here. Cassio's gonna flash heal again. The ult, the Rek'Sai, nice flash by the Aurelion Sol to get behind her. Look for the Ignite. Rek'Sai is going to kill her. 1v1 in the top lane. Not going to happen. Renekton's going to back off. So, bot lane stays safe. No one dies there. Caitlyn does look for the engage down here, and they are getting pretty low. Rek'Sai looks like he was heading towards bot, but not so much anymore. So, bot lane, Jinx did have to burn Flash to get out of there. Tried to ult the Pantheon. Got Pantheon down to 50 HP, was not able to take him out. Mid lane, Rek'Sai and the Aurelion Sol were able to go into Cassio, burn her Flash and her heal, and we're able to pick up the kill on that as well, which is really good for them.
Lambton pulling out of the bottom lane, hopefully giving Steve a little bit of an advantage on that bottom tower.
So, bot lane's not going as well as Steve would like. They do need that Pantheon to pick up some steam, get his heal off. Or he can actually go for the tower dive on this. Renekton's going to ult, or it's taking a lot of tower shots. Renekton survives with a sliver of HP, barely getting out of that
really.
tower dive by Ornn. And looks like Ornn's going to let him back, and he's going to push tower again. And that Renekton is really struggling in the top lane there. He is down a full item at this point. So, like Pantheon is going in on Lulu, but Sejuani's going to hop over the wall. Jinx is going to be there as well. Lulu's going to pick up that kill. Neff going to TP back and try and get this Ornn. Rek'Sai is going to be here to help him out. Watch out for that unstoppable. Rek'Sai goes for the ult, and Rek'Sai is going to flash out again. And Unburrow is able to take him out, and Renekton is able to pick up that kill. So, well played by Renekton, waiting out the flash by Ornn and unburrowing him right before he hit turret. Aurelion Sol came in to help him out a little bit and give him a little bit of extra gold. Unfortunately, it does mean Cassio is going to push his turret, take a few plates. Pantheon looks like he's going to come in for the ult, and bot lane is going to try and kill Lulu. Lulu's going to ult herself, and Jinx is going to pick up the kill on Kayla on the back end of it, and she's going to go have her fever. Doesn't quite pick up the Pantheon, gets her down to about half health, but unfortunately gank didn't work. Lulu is
flashing up some
trying
taunts
to do
here.
So obviously, Pantheon pick not quite as well worked out as they would like. A lot of shields coming out of the Lulu means that it's very tough for them to burst this Lulu Jinx down.
Lambton is currently up by 4 kills and about 6k gold.
Yeah, so definitely going to be a long road ahead for Steve to try and come back in this game. First turret already taking, and actually a very aggressive buy by Lambton here. The Lulu going with a Magi's Soul Stealer. So what that does is it costs a minimal amount of money, and it stacks per kill and per assist that you get. So 2 stacks for a kill, 1 stack for an assist. And then every time you get that, it gives you more AP. So stacks count for AP. So I believe it's 5 or 10 AP for every stack you get. But if you die, you lose 10 glory. So each stack, or otherwise called glory, you lose 1 stack of that. So right now, currently, she's at 8 stacks, which means she's about plus 40 AP, which is significant. You can stack that up to 25 stacks.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So if you get going on that, especially, looks like they're going to test this Rift Herald, and they're actually going to take it out. He's going to be secured by Lambton. Tried for the steal on the Rift Herald without anyone noticing. Unfortunately, he was collapsed on. Rek'Sai is going to pay for it with his Renekton's going to pay for it with his life, and Lambton looks like they're going to pick up that top lane turret as well. They got 3 pushing up there. Looks like Rek'Sai's coming for the gank in bot lane. Looks like
coming in with some heavy ult.
Yeah, so Ornn's going to try and pick up the kill on Caitlyn. Caitlyn is forced to run the heal and gets it anyway through the heal. He's able to kill that Caitlyn and trade the 1-for-1. So Sejuani's going to throw down Rift Herald on top. Renekton's not going to be able to do much about this. Jungler is bot lane. Aurelion Sol is going to back along with the Pantheon, and Renekton's going to try and defend that top lane.
Lambton is currently up by 3 turrets and 5 kills.
They're gonna try and push this top lane up, maybe force out a fight, because they know they have a heavy advantage right now. The 6k gold lead. Pantheon's gonna try and ult behind in the wave. Renekton's gonna try and go in. Flashes out, is picked up by the Jinx as he's getting out. And you got Aurelion Sol barely surviving there. Ult by Jinx, does pick him off as he's heading to turret. Double kill for the Jinx. Looks like she's going to keep going on a rampage. Pantheon looks like he's trying to go for the pick. Rek'Sai going to come in the back line there. Oh, very low. Not on Burrow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Rek'Sai's
Whoa.
Caitlin's going to pick up the shutdown. Jinx is going to try and pick up another couple kills with her name. But,
Absolutely shut
yeah,
down. That was insane.
Jinx did pick up boots and an Infinity Edge, which means she is very far ahead of this Caitlyn. And she's going to get a crit on that. She's going to hit the W, and that's not going to kill it. Jinx. Pantheon does save her life. Jinx going greedy, trying to get as much as she can. They're going to pick up the inhibitor here, and Jinx is going to keep pushing, actually. Gets stunned up. Renekton's is going to ult. They're going to polymorph him. He's going to go down immediately. Jinx going to keep going on this Aurelion Soul. Cassio, about 200 health, trying to get a pick on that. Does not work out, so looks like Lambton are just going to back off. But there was a stream of kills on the side of Lambton that Jinx was able to pick up. Ult by Rek'Sai, flashes over the wall on the side of Lulu. Pantheon's going to try and pick up a kill late here, doesn't quite get it. And with all those kills, remember I was talking about the Medjais.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like they're going to go for another engage. Orin kind of just, no one can really touch him at this point. He's too tanky. Pantheon looking for the stun on the Orin. Gets it, picks it up. Doesn't really do that much damage. Caitlyn not doing that much damage as well. Rek'Sai going to hit the Umbar on him. Orin going to pick up the ult. Go in on the Caitlyn again. Burst her down to nothing. And she is able to survive. Jinx ult does not hit. Sejuani's going to flash for the Pantheon. W's him and he's going to Q him to death. Orin picks up the Caitlyn on the back end of that. Lulu picks up the kill on Pantheon, and missed ult by Sejuani means they can't really pick up the last one. But as I was saying, that right there is 25 stacked Medjais. That will give you 140, 150 AP. So
that's honestly
a 3,600 goal out of him, and looks like they're going on the Rek'Sai. They're just going to kill him. Renekton's going to go in. Look for the kill on Orin. Polymorph actually does save him.
Shutting down Orin.
Yeah. So that was a big shutdown there. Stipe's the push for a second, but it looks like they're just going to try and walk in. And Sejuani, 400 health, not very high, but this Jinx is two items, and she was just running all over Steve. So
this to me honestly looks like the GG.
Yeah, they looks like they're probably going to reset maybe for a mountain, or they'll just push bot lane and try and take that. 17-7 the score. They're up by about 10k gold, so at this point they can pretty much just shape the game however they want to. Apart from a massive team fight that they would lose there, it doesn't look like there's much stopping Lambton winning this game. Tower 7-0, one drag taken, one lonely cloud drake.
Getting
but
some farming done here.
they don't really need any more. They just need to push that ball line out, and it's going to be really tough for Steve to find any way to come back in this game. So definitely you have to shut down that Jinx, stop the Cassiopeia, and the problem is Orin is just too tanky at this point. He has just upgraded his Sunfire Cape, and when you get that little red box around it, it means that they upgraded it so he gets more armor, more health, and he's working his way towards his mask, his magic resist mask.
Lambton is now up by 2 dragons.
Yeah, so 20 minutes in, 17-7, things are not looking very good for Steve here. Down about 10.5k gold now. Baron is up, is an objective, but I have a feeling that Lambton has the Nexus in sights rather than anything else. So they take the turret. Jinx gonna get that passive proc on the Rek'Sai, can slow him down. He's able to pick the crit on that, almost able to kill the Caitlyn as well. Orin's gonna ult on the Rek'Sai. Looks like he's gonna go for the knockup, and Aurelion Soul's gonna flash out. Rek'Sai's gonna go for the stun. Actually picks up the Jinx.
Caitlyn shutting down Jinx, yeah.
But Lulu picks up a kill again. Orin gonna tank a few turret shots here. And it looks like they did take out that Jinx, so it doesn't make it that much tougher. Unfortunately, the Cassiopeia is another hyper carry that they have available to them. So they're gonna try and just push this in. They have 2 inhibs down, gonna take down a 3rd momentarily. And Steve, this is their last stand. They have to try and take out that Cassio.
Unfortunately for Steve, everyone is everywhere.
Yeah, so all double ult on Sejuani onto Caitlyn. They're gonna take her out as well. They're gonna take out the Orin though. And honestly, see being thrown out by Steve. They're gonna go for the Lulu kill on this Sejuani, so they're actually gonna try and clean this up. Cassio gonna walk down, 400 HP. Everyone is very low on the side of Lambton. This is dangerous, but looks like they're just gonna back off. Steve is gonna give chase though. Rek'Sai full health, gonna look for possibly an ult here. No, decides against. Oh, he looks like he's gonna go for the unburrow on him. Actually, heal brought out by Cassio. He's gonna hit the ult. Oh, he's gonna hit the stun as well. Pantheon gonna jump in on that. Pantheon's gonna try and clean up the Aurelion Soul. Jinx is gonna show up though, and it's gonna dissuade them from coming. W hit by the Jinx. Jinx is gonna go for the last hit. Doesn't quite get that Aurelion Soul. And Sejuani somehow survives. Orin gonna TP back to the fight in the mid lane. Jinx gonna pick up a double kill. Is gonna pick up. Sejuani's gonna pick up another kill. And Jinx is just running all over Steve now. It's looks like this is gonna be the last breath
Oh my goodness.
for Steve. It's very tanky Orin. Jinx is very fed at this point. You got Rek'Sai and you got Caitlyn trying to hold him off, but Jinx is just easily 1v1ing that Caitlyn, no problem. So Brilliant Souls gonna try and hold him off for a little bit longer. Orin gonna go for the ult and base, gonna get both of them. Sejuani going low, Jinx going low as well. Jinx gonna survive with barely any HP. Brilliant Souls can try and go and clean up. He's trying to wave clear this massive wave in mid. They're gonna go in on the Orange, try and take him out. Brilliant Soul's gonna try and clean up this Orin. Orin's gonna try and push out. And they got Rek'Sai. Yeah, Orin's gonna get taken out here, and they see him here. Pantheon's gonna try and go and finish them off. Pantheon does not get it though. Sejuani is able to take him out. See if the Orin, Rek'Sai is able to take the Orin out. We got a couple extra kills here late in the game. Ooh, Jinx ult is gonna take out the Rek'Sai though. So ults out of Caitlyn, try and stop it back. Unfortunately, doesn't really do that much damage. 3 inhibs. 3 inhibs for Lambton means they're gonna have double super minions pushing in every single lane until one of those inhibs comes back up, which it just did. So they're not gonna have to worry about that. Unfortunately, it does mean that Lambton can pretty much take Baron whenever they would like to. Looks like they're trying to reset, possibly go for it, obviously. So they have 2 turrets actually. They're so looks like their inhib's gonna come back up, but it looks like Lambton's gonna group for this Baron. Best they can hope for is a steal at this point. Otherwise, you just kind of don't really have much to do. So looks like they're just gonna take this Baron uncontested. Steve is too busy clearing minions in the base. They can't actually contest that. So Baron to the side of Lambton there, just going to try and run this down mid lane, take down that last inhibitor, and end this game. So we actually have an upgraded Rabadons on a Lulu. I don't think I've seen that one before, but this Lulu is actually doing an immense amount of damage because she has 25 stacks on her Magi's and she has a Rabadon. So double upgraded items on the side of Orin. Does mean that it's going to be extra tanky. And we got a last stand on the side of Lambton, seeing if they can do absolutely anything. Try and go in on the Jinx here. Jinx is going to get ulted by Lulu. Going on the Renekton, able to clean up the Renekton Pantheon. Die as well. Jinx is going to try and clean this up in the base. Got 1 Rek'Sai left. Got minions are going to push, try and end the game. And Cassio picks up a kill right before the end. But looks like this is going to be GG. Oh, they're going to go with the Caitlyn, and they get the Caitlyn in base right before the end of the game. Lambton, take it, 25 minutes, 30 kills to 12, and another victory for Lambton, putting them at 2-0.